Secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, he is at loggerheads with members of the State House of Assembly. Federal lawmakers from his own party, the All Progressives Congress APC, are not on his side. The result is a deeply factionalized APC in Benue State. Beyond the political walls, there are louder questions. Has Governor Alia truly delivered on the promise he made to the Benue people? Or has he become more consumed by power struggles than performance? I am Eshomomo Imodu. This is Fireworks. We put them under check. On my top today, his Chief Press Secretary, Tess Okula, sits on the hot seat to defend his boss against accusations of non-performance and biting the very finger that once fed him the political limelight. Mr. Kula, nice to have you join me today.
It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Now, before 2023, Governor Hyacinth Alia was not politically known in Benue State. He rose on the structure of some individuals. George Akume precisely, the Secretary of Government of the Federation. But now, just barely 2 years after, the governor is fighting everybody. He's fighting George Akume, he's fighting the State House of Assembly members, he's fighting the federal lawmakers. What exactly is happening?
Well, I thank you so much for that question, but I must tell you that it is rather unfortunate that nobody is asking us to discuss development infrastructure-wise in Benue State. Nobody is asking us to discuss human development in government house in Benue State. Rather,
we will ask you that. You chose to respond to an allegation made by the APC chairman.
Yeah, what I'm trying to build around is that we will be more excited to talk about the promises the governor made to the people, because the governor had a pact with the people. But that notwithstanding, especially that you said you asked that as the journey progresses, let me answer you briefly. In Benue State, yes, the political figure, Senator George Akume, who is the SGF today, is not one that you wish away when you discuss politics in Benue. That's number one. Number two, when you say somebody is not known in a political arena, you have to define that. You would have better said he was, my principal, Governor Alia was not known in the partisan political arena, because politics is practiced everywhere, including classroom and the church. And that he came from the church does not in any way imply that he is completely a novice as far as politics is concerned.
Nigerian politics is different from church politics.
I say you would have defined that. If you say he was not known in the Nigerian political scene, I will understand. But when you say
he was not known in the Nigerian political scene, even in Benue State politics.
Thank you.
Some people gave him the wings to fly.
Thank you so much. By that, I will tell you that 3 people gave him the wings to fly. These 3 people included the first Benue people, the masses. Before he came in, the governor went around to solicit for support, to consult the people, to know whether they are comfortable with him coming in. But before you say Jack, we had 378 support groups that sprang up across the state in support of that project. It's unprecedented. Nobody has ever pulled that. So the masses themselves moved in. That's to tell you that
some people invited them and gave him
nobody invited the governor. The governor decided on his own to seek. I told you that he went and made some consultations. Who brought him? He went out to make consultations, and it will interest you to know that he did not specify the party he was even going to contest elections in. When he gathered all this, he became a bride that everybody courted for. People wanted him, not just APs, for your information. This is one fact that people forget to say. People voted for this candidate.
So are you saying, let's put things in proper perspective.
Yes.
Are you saying Governor Alia already got involved, wanting to become governor before the APC poached him?
Yes. Remember, he made consultations. I can tell you, you may go back and check the facts, and even people who allege that they invited him. He registered APC. He registered as a member of the APC after he's done consultations, and political groups were formed waiting for him to direct them on what political party to go. It was in his, but then the council ward, in Benue in particular, that he went to register. At that time, the likes of my elder brother, Onaka, Chief Gimade, and the others were campaigning on the APC already. So when I told you that Alia was courted as a bride, beautiful one at that. And so he wanted to be governor and was looking for, a platform to contest. Normally, you
then some people moved structure for him against the other guys.
Some people invited him that agree, but that is not that they invited him to be governor. They invited him to their party.
Exactly, to their party, and they gave him a structure.
We have a beautiful structure you can do. Agreed. No two ways about that.
So he wrote on that structure to
and
become
I told
governor.
You, I started by telling you that 3 persons are structures here.
The people.
1, the Benue people. 2, the leader of the party at that time, Senator George Akume, no two words about that. 3, the party itself. Because the party is beyond Akume as a person. You talk about...
Okay, now let's place it in perspective.
Yes.
3 groups.
Yes.
The Benue people.
Yes. The leader of the party at that time,
the leader of the party.
At that time, yes.
Oh, at that time?
Yes.
Okay, the leader of the party at that time, according to you. Then the party.
Then the party.
Now, and 2 years down the line,
yes,
he's fighting the leader of the party at that time.
Yes.
He's fighting the party.
Is that true too? How can he fight the party? The governor is the leader of the party in the state, and he is the one sponsoring the party in the state.
Who was the chairman of the party as at the time
he came in?
The party supported him.
It was Austin Agada.
Who engineered the removal of Austin Agada as chairman of the party?
The people got angry and removed Austin Agada.
Was there a neck that removed him?
You are first taught there are very many ways of removing a party chairman or an official.
Tell me.
1, if you are suspended by your people or you are expelled by your people, which is from the world, you are no longer a member of the party. So how can you be chairman? That is the one that happened.
But the NEC will ratify. The governor will not appoint a replacement like he did.
No, at this level, it is the governor who is the leader of SEC at the state level, just like happening at the national level.
No.
When the national chairman is removed.
Let's place things in proper perspective.
We're here.
The governor is not the leader of SEC. The governor heads the government of a state. And the chairman of the party with the NWC heads the SEC. At the national level, the national chairman of a party heads the NEC. That is the proper.
Who calls for NEC and presides over the NEC at the national level?
The chairman calls for NEC.
Who presides over the NEC at the national level?
The chairman presides. The president or the governor is recognized as a leader, the leader of the party. So he's also there.
So can you not tell me why NEC is head at the villa instead of the party secretariat?
That does not make it the law. The law.
But here, you cannot tell me that the chairman is the head of NEC. Okay, now who ratifies the removal of the chairman if he's still the head of the NEC? The president presides over this thing, and all these decisions are ratified, even against the chairman. That is why we have chairmen who have been removed at the national level, who ratifies the NEC, and who presides over the NEC.
Who appointed the replacement to Austin Agada?
The replacement can be appointed by the leader of the party. It's allowed.
Governor Alia
in this
appointed.
Case, yes, in this
now,
case.
Which constitutional power? Which law
just
gave him the power
just the way the president appointed Ganduje to replace.
He nominated Ganduje. He didn't. He nominated. Now let's come back to your governor. I like us to put things in proper perspective.
That's true. Let's go.
Now, the SEC in the state. You said the governor appointed. Are you aware of a court judgment in November 2020, in November nullifying the said suspension and removal of Austin Agada? Was that judgment appealed?
The judgment was actually appealed. And the status quo was supposed to be maintained.
So the status quo is that Austin Agada is the chairman of the party?
No, the status quo at that time, by the time Austin went to court, who was the chairman? When you talk of status quo, is what is in existence before going to court. So who was the chairman?
No.
It was Omako.
Now, Sakula, don't you see
who was the acting chairman?
Don't you see that this fight against several groups?
The governor is not fighting several groups.
Several groups are fighting the governor.
There's one thing
somebody is fighting somebody.
No, listen, there's something people don't know about what is happening in Benue.
Okay.
What Alia is doing in Benue is unprecedented as far as development is concerned. It's a complete revolution. And because some people feel so very bad, they instigate people to give him that bad name. I was surprised when you did an introduction, you say he's fighting the state assembly, he's fighting this one, he's fighting this one. How is he fighting them? The people in the National Assembly, how is he fighting them? Has he stopped them from executing?
Are they on his camp?
Wait, look at what I'm asking you. How is he fighting them? Is he stopping them from implementing their construction projects in Benue State? Has he disrupted any of them?
Let me explain.
Is there anywhere?
The critics say that as the time became governor,
yes,
he had all these people on his side. Now they are not on his side. So somebody is fighting somebody.
It's their choice. They have a choice. They have a choice.
Does that not suggest that the roof under Governor Alia's leadership of the party is leaking?
I cannot agree to that.
And it questions his capacity. People say it questions his capacity.
Do you know,
as leader.
Do you know why I cannot agree with you in that regard? You cannot force people when you want to do. A revolutionist has no friend, mind you. When you want to do these things, you want to change the narrative, you want to change the fortune of a place, you are bound to have very many enemies. It's allowed. You are bound to have many enemies because where people used to put money on the table and share, where people used to go to somebody and worship as if, even if you're a commissioner, you must go to this house before you take a decision. If a head of an agency, you must go there to take and meet a wife or a son or so to take a decision. And somebody is saying that, look, I've appointed you here. I am the sole person you can consult. Where you have issues, you have a free hand to operate in line with the rules of this government. And this is being implemented. Do you think those who want the status quo ante to maintain will be happy? This is what is happening in Benue State. The monies that are coming to Benue State are being put to judicious use. And that is why the level of devastation as far as infrastructure development is concerned is unprecedented. If you go to Benue State today, save for the new roads the governor is constructing, especially in Makurdi, the capital city, every other road is spoiled. Every other road, I can call them. How I wish I have somebody who is sitting by the side who is from Benue so I can mention the roads.
Every other road
is spoiled. You have gallops. In fact, the one going to government house. It is now that you have roads under construction. I remember I'm happy you mentioned a member of the National Assembly. I agree. One of the members of the National Assembly stood up, wrote on his Facebook page saying that the governor is not doing anything. He wrote that within 50 seconds, 50 minutes, less than 1 hour. Within 50 minutes, he had to pull it down. Because this is somebody that the governor construct a street, a major street, right in front of his house. I don't know, social media is dangerous. At the time the road was yet to be constructed, the man paints his house in white. It's white as a castle. He painted his house in white, and because he was afraid of the dust, every time he come around, they would go and look for condensed engine oil and pour on the street in front of his house. People snapped this thing, we didn't know. So when the governor now constructed the road, put street lights straight right in front of the man's house, and the man came to write this, people now brought the pictures of when and now. He had to pull down that post.
Now, you earlier said that the governor was moving against the status quo and the money that was supposed to come to the state for development is no longer going to certain pockets. Are you suggesting that it's about money sharing?
Part of it. I'm not suggesting. The records are there. I give you an example. When Governor Susam came into power in 2007, at a point there was a fight. It's always a fight anytime a governor comes into power. And then there's one recurring decimal. There's somebody who is always there. There's always a fight anytime a governor comes into Benue.
No, who is that person that is always there?
I will give you this. No. In 2027, Susam came into power. He also was said to have been brought in by our father, Senator George Akume. After 2 to 3 years, there was a fight. This one was so severe that our father had to leave PDP. Susam said that he was asked to put money on the table for sharing and he refused. That is why there was a fight. Susam said it. He's still alive. Entered Governor Otom after Susam. Governor Otom managed 2 to 3 years, and then there was another fight again. And it was whether Otom should leave or our father should leave. Eventually, Otom left. And when Otom left, in a leaked video or audio that he did with our father, the SGF, Otom said, "Can you see that now that I've left you, I'm able to pay salaries and pensions?"
At the same Otom, you just said that
now,
all the roads were bad. And so if he worked that well, how come the roads were bad?
I just told you, Otom in that video didn't say that he worked well. He said, "Can you see that now I have left you?"
Okay.
Because by the time Otom was in APC, he was owing state government workers, that is 2007.
Okay.
17. He was owing state government workers 7 months.
Just hold your tongue.
And local government
We'll
workers 11 months.
After this break. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we've been speaking about Governor Hyacinth Alia, the governor of Benue State, and he's represented by his chief press secretary, Teso Kula. We left up talking about somebody always fighting every person that comes in. Now, it suggests you are saying that this is just the game of power and control. So is the governor overwhelmed by his desire to control party structure?
The governor is not fighting to control any party structure. The constitution of the party is there, and the tradition of the constitution is very clear. When you become a governor of a state, you become a leader of that party in your state.
It is not automatic.
It has been proven. It has happened over and over. We have a number 2 person in this country who is the vice president of this country. He always recognized the governor of his state. Remember, he was also a governor. He also was a governor in Benue State. He always recognized the governor of his state as the leader of his party, notwithstanding his position as the number 2 in this country.
I give another one. Let's get it right.
No, let me give you another one.
Who is the leader of the party?
The leader of the
party,
whether
George Akume or Alia.
I just told you that evidence abound and the tradition of the party is there, that the governor of a state is in that party, is the leader of that party in that state.
So you
don't even need to ask that.
Do you believe that?
No, let me give you this one.
Okay.
Recently, you have the number 3 man in this country, who is Godswill Akpabio, the Senate president. A governor in his state won election in PDP. Recently, the governor decamped, crossed over into APC. Akpabio went to his home, summoned a meeting, introduced the governor to the people of APC that, look, this is your new leader. I am now the leader of the North.
That says something. The governor of that state you just mentioned played the politics rightly.
How?
To understand that there is somebody who is the number 3 man, and I should respect him, and because respect is reciprocal. So the governor respected him, and in return, the number 3 man deferred to him being the leader. So as your governor done that, to defer to Senator George Akume as his
when they won election,
godfather.
What else will you do when somebody is always consulting you before taking any decision when you came into power? What else could you have done?
So you saying the fight was from day one? From
the beginning, Alia was looked upon as a novice. Oh yes, agreed. As you earlier said.
And as you agreed.
As you earlier said, in the partisan political balance, he was coming in for the first time as a politician. But there's a level to which you can treat your son that he know that he's a legitimate son of yours. There is a level to that. Now, when you reduce somebody to a point of taking decisions and telling him to implement, And the person has a pact. I told you the first thing is that the governor has a pact with the people. Because you need three things to become a governor or become a leader of the people. You need the goodwill. You see how you can manage that goodwill to translate into votes. And then you see how you can protect that. At that level, you are not the only person doing that. The goodwill is yours. How to manage it to translate to votes is no longer your power. You have to bring in people. This is why people came. You need to know, first of all, that Fadalia came with that overwhelming, and I repeat, overwhelming goodwill of the people.
Now, are you also aware that this goodwill of the people is also captured in the personality of the Secretary of Government of the Federation? Is also captured in the personality of the lawmakers that the governor is fighting? So if you say he brought in the people, the same people who gave him the legitimacy, he's fighting the same set of people?
I don't want to go there, but when you say this thing, let me just come. You mentioned the lawmakers, this. The lawmakers, most of them lost elections previously, before I came, including our father. So well, I'm coming to that. Let me answer this.
Okay.
When people talk as if the structure was so very solid that the man just came in and wrote, remember there were money bags involved in that system. Ask yourself, why is it that they sought and got the man, they said that he broke nothing except a collar on his neck? Why is it that they insisted on that man? Remember, there were so many cases that moved, 13 good cases that moved from the first court of instance to the Supreme Court. Yet, those who say they are the structures insisted this is the man they wanted. Why was that possible? And now number two, the people from those who won Senate to those who won House of Reps, were they not there in the previous election before the general elections?
In the 2020 election, they won, just as Governor Alia also won. So they won the election, the various elections.
The man brought overwhelming support.
You mean the governor brought support that gave them the
I am telling you that APC under Fadalia,
a man that was not known politically in the state.
But I told you amongst them, and I asked you if you say that he was not known. I just told you that.
Can you build something on nothing?
I just told you that.
Can you build something on nothing?
How can you say nothing? Because I just told you that 378 support groups, including market women, Okada riders, motorcyclists, is that not a structure? How can you say that on nothing? You are building on the people. And I told you that the first people that the Fadalia built on, the masses.
Now,
these are the people that even gave him the ticket. Because when it was too overwhelming.
The governor has less than 2 years to the next governorship election.
Elections, yes.
Does that suggest to you or to him that he may not get the ticket of the part of the APC in the next election? Way he's going.
You see, Governor Alia is not a spirit. And every of my question here regarding what is happening in the state, I tell you that he put the people first. Because these were the first people.
I just asked you a question.
I'm going to answer that.
The ticket of the APC does not suggest to you that you will not get the ticket of the party.
I'm giving you a background. I'm giving you a background. I can't just answer a question and say I'm yes or no in the court of law. First of all, how did he even get this ticket? I gave you a background. Fatalia was sought for.
Now, the same people who sought for him may not seek for him in the next election.
At their detriment, they are just playing Kurukere. They know that they can't go anywhere. They will not even allow him to go anywhere. This is the structure. They will dance and come back.
Political observers say,
I'm telling you that they will dance and come back and queue up.
Governor Alia is already thinking of crossing over. Is he going to the ADC?
That's a big lie that people bring to distract him.
People he's not making peace in his party.
Who says
2 years, two and a half years after?
Who says he's not making
How
peace?
will he get the ticket of that same party? Let's face reality.
Is he fighting the national chairman of the party? Is he fighting the president, who is the leader of the party in the country? Is he fighting any member of the NEC? Is he fighting officials that...
Now, when the president visited Benue,
yes,
after the attack,
yes,
he did say that they should resolve the crisis.
You see, this is another angle that people...
How did Governor Alia bend to resolve the crisis?
These are issues that people misinterpret. They disinform, so they cannot get away with what they wanted. Was the president there to discuss political crisis? Did the president actually discuss political crisis in Benue when he visited Benue? Are you telling me that the president abandoned what was happening there and discussed political crisis that was happening in Benue? The president was talking about the insecurity that bedeviled the state at that time and why the need for this.
Because that was one of the accusations against the governor.
Who gave the accusations?
That insecurity is heightened under his leadership.
The only person,
because he is fighting political battles.
The only person who spoke and gave Mr. President the details of what is actually happening in the state and what is actually on the ground was the Totif, the brow thief, and he didn't mention any political crisis bedeviling the state. He told Mr. President what was happening, the history of the crisis, how far we have gone, and what the state government was doing, and how the state government was unable to go further than that because the restraint in security in the constitution, where it's not everybody that's allowed to handle arms. Vigilante groups have been formed, task force have been formed, but then they cannot carry sophisticated weapons that these criminals were carrying. And until legitimate and conventional security like soldiers, MOPO, and the rest will come in from the federal government. Otherwise, the security arrangement put in check by the governor was almost being overwhelmed. That was what the Totif said. And the president stood up, he listened to this, and he responded to that.
For peace to reign, because of time, for peace to reign,
yes.
How far can the governor bend?
Is the governor rigid? He is not.
2 years down the line shows that somebody is rigid.
Certainly not for earlier. The governor of Benue State.
You said he's the leader of the party.
He is the leader of the party.
Will the leader of the party be willing to bend, and how far can he bend to have peace in APC?
When you say bend, I don't understand. Has Fadalia pushed anybody out of this party? No.
The chairman of the party?
The chairman of the party, he was not born and brought up as a chairman of the party. He was brought in as chairman of the party. There's time to go. At the national level, within this short time where we had 3 chairmen, does that mean that they have been pushed out of the party? You are not, simply say you are no longer the chairman. Because your what do you call it? Your ward suspended you. So because you are no longer a member, as a suspended member, somebody else is supposed to come in. So what
is the crisis in the House of Assembly in the state?
No, the crisis in the House of Assembly, as far as we know, is not from the presidency, from the governor. It's between the members themselves and their own speaker. That is why it wasn't...
And the preserved also speaker that the governor wanted.
Yeah, and you can now see when people say that he's pushing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kula, for coming on my talk today.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And that is all that time will permit us to take on this particular episode of Fireworks. Now, let's make it another opportunity next time on the same platform. But before then, go back to the YouTube channel and check on every episode of Fireworks. I remain yours sincerely, Eshomo Imodu. Bye for now.